Whenever you eat food, the calories and nutrients that you take in are used to fuel your brain, repair broken down muscle tissue, and provide energy for all your cells and organs to function. However, once your body has met its basic energy needs, any extra calories are converted to fat. This fat gets stored around various places throughout your body, especially around the stomach, love handles, and hips. While this entire process follows the basic principle of calories in versus calories out, there are some foods that are more likely to cause you to consume too many calories, which can lead to storing more fat. So today, I want to go over 9 of the most fattening foods that you should definitely limit if you want to keep a flat stomach. And the number one food, or actually beverage I should say, that is highly fattening is soda. In fact, soda is a much bigger problem than most people think. On average, Americans consume 270 calories of added sugar each day, and most of these extra calories come from drinking soda. These liquid sugars add up to almost 1,900 extra calories each week, which is roughly equivalent to the number of calories you'd burn by running 12 to 15 miles. So it's safe to say that those extra calories will be tough to burn off. And the issue with sugary calories is that they don't really satisfy your hunger, meaning you typically consume them on top of the calories you've already eaten. This is why people who drink soda and other sugary drinks tend to weigh more than people who don't, according to 2 systematic reviews. So for that reason, I suggest you replace soda with healthier drinks like sparkling water, tea, or coffee. You can also add artificial sweeteners like stevia if you still want that sweet taste, because studies show that replacing sugary foods and drinks with artificially sweetened alternatives can lower your calorie intake and help with weight loss. Most studies suggest that artificial sweeteners are generally safe as long as you don't go over the recommended limits. So 2 to 3 packets of stevia per day should be fine, but don't overdo it, as having too much could actually increase your sugar cravings rather than help them. Next up is beer. Yes, the term beer belly exists for a reason, because beer is one of the alcoholic beverages most likely to cause weight gain. There are several reasons why beer is so likely to cause weight gain. First, alcohol is converted into acetate in the body, mainly in the liver. When acetate enters your bloodstream, your body's ability to burn fat is highly suppressed. As a result, the fatty acids you eat are more likely to be stored as fat rather than being burned off. On top of that, acetate itself can also be converted into fat. Another issue with alcohol is that it's often paired with high-fat junk foods like pizza or late-night fast food, and the excess calories from alcohol don't really fill you up. Unlike protein, carbs, and fats, alcohol doesn't suppress your appetite. In fact, it can actually increase it. For example, in a 2019 study, researchers found that adults don't compensate for the calories they get from alcohol by eating less, and even a small amount of alcohol can cause an increase in food consumption. And when it comes to alcohol, beer is one of the worst offenders. This is because, on average, beer contains 150 calories per drink, compared to 125 calories per glass of wine, and around 100 calories per shot of hard liquor. Moving on, we have croissants. Croissants are a bit tricky because on the surface they don't seem all that bad calorie-wise. But back in 1995, researchers wanted to determine which foods were the most filling, or satiating. They tested 38 different foods, grouped into 6 categories, including fruits, bakery products, snacks, carbohydrate-rich foods, protein-rich foods, and breakfast cereals. Each food was given to participants in 240-calorie portions. And then the researchers measured how full the participants felt over 2 hours. After the 2-hour period, the participants were allowed to eat as much as they wanted from a selection of foods. To figure out which foods were the most filling, the researchers compared the satiety score of each food to white bread, which was given a score of 100. If a food scored higher than 100, it was more filling than white bread. If it scored lower, it was less filling. The results showed that out of all 38 foods tested, croissants were the least filling, scoring just 47 on the satiety index. This makes them less than half as filling as white bread, which is already considered a low satiety food. In other words, if you eat croissants, you'll have a harder time controlling your calorie intake, which can make this food highly fattening. If you're looking for an alternative, the same study showed that potatoes are about 7 times more filling than croissants. Next, we have cookies. Cookies are typically made with ingredients that aren't very filling, like flour, sugar, and butter. Plus, they often contain other high-calorie ingredients, like chocolate chips. This combination is what makes cookies so fattening. For example, One study found that when overweight people ate 2 cups of watermelon every day, they ended up eating fewer calories overall and lost weight. On the other hand, when they consumed the same number of calories from cookies, they tended to overeat and gain fat. Studies also show that regularly eating cookies can lead to an increase in blood pressure and body fat, so if you're trying to lose weight, go for natural sweets like watermelon instead. Not only will it help you eat fewer calories, but you'll also feel fuller and get more nutrients in the process. Another sneaky high-calorie food is cooking oil. Now don't get me wrong, dietary fat is essential for your health, and oils like olive oil and avocado oil have plenty of health benefits. But the problem is that cooking oils are the most calorie-dense food group, and they don't do much to fill you up. Combine that with the fact that it's easy to use too much oil when cooking, and you can quickly rack up a lot of extra calories. For example, 1 tablespoon of olive oil contains 119 calories. If you add 3 tablespoons of olive oil to your meals each day, that's an extra 357 calories. Now, this doesn't mean you have to avoid cooking oils altogether, especially healthy ones like olive and avocado oil. But it does mean you should be mindful of how much oil you use. One helpful tool is an oil mister, which helps you spray a light, even coat of oil without using too much. Of course, you can also use cooking sprays from the store, but those often contain highly processed oils like canola, which aren't as healthy. Instead, I recommend getting your own oil mister and filling it with olive oil or avocado oil. Next up, we have French fries. A typical 5-ounce serving of French fries contains around 427 calories, which makes them one of the most calorie-dense junk foods. On top of that, fries are usually paired with other high-calorie foods like burgers and soda, which can add hundreds of extra calories to your meal. French fries also contain a lot of salt, which can increase your water retention and make you temporarily gain weight. While sodium itself doesn't cause fat gain, research shows that salty foods can make you eat more, which can lead to a calorie surplus and fat gain. For example, a study in 2009 suggested that salted foods may be addictive because they activate the opioid and dopamine receptors in your brain. The researchers also noted that cutting back on salt could lead to withdrawal-like symptoms, which might explain why many people crave salty junk foods like fries. Moving on, we can't forget about pizza. Pizza is highly fattening for the same reasons as French fries. It's high in fat, calories, and sodium. For example, a 12-inch medium pizza contains around 1,835 calories. When I was in college, I often saw people eat an entire medium pizza after a night of drinking. Now imagine eating 2 medium pizzas in a week. That would be enough calories to gain a whole pound of fat. And if you throw in a few beers and a soda, it's easy to consume more than 3,500 calories in one night, which is enough to gain a pound of fat. Alcohol can make it even harder to resist these high-calorie foods because it lowers your willpower and makes you more likely to overeat. Next up, we have peanut butter. Now, peanuts themselves aren't bad. In fact, studies have linked peanut consumption to lower body weight and better health. But peanut butter is very calorie-dense, and it's easy to eat more than you should. This is because turning peanuts into peanut butter removes the chewing resistance that whole peanuts have, making it easier to overconsume. Many people love peanut butter and spread it thickly on toast or apples, which adds a lot of extra calories. Commercially prepared peanut butters are even worse because they often contain added sugars, oils, and salt, making them higher in calories and less filling. While natural peanut butter is a better option, it's still important to watch your portions because it's easy to overeat and accidentally consume more calories than you need. Lastly, we have potato chips. Over a 20-year period, scientists from Harvard Medical School looked at over 120,000 men and women to see how lifestyle changes impacted their body weight. They found that the biggest factor associated with weight gain over a 4-year period was eating more potato chips. Potato chips are highly calorie-dense, with 100 grams containing around 536 calories. Plus, chips are often eaten while watching TV or movies, which can lead to mindless snacking and overeating. So, these are 9 of the most fattening foods that are easy to overconsume. By limiting them, you'll be on the right track to avoiding weight gain. That wraps up today's video. If you found this helpful, be sure to hit the subscribe button, and don't forget to check out other videos on my channel. See you next time.